What's up everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be playing a little Glissa Sunslayer in Historic Brawl. Glissa is a 3 mana, 1 and Golgari, 3/3, with a pretty cool ability. It is a first striking Death Toucher, which means if any creature blocks us, we kill it first, because we have first strike. But since we also have Death Touch, the creature instantly dies, and they can't do any damage to us. So basically, it's an unblockable creature. Now, if they have an indestructible creature, or some other nuance like that, then it doesn't apply. But in most cases, if Glissa does any combat damage to a creature, the creature dies first before the creature ever does damage to us. So, what we've built is a Voltron deck. So we have a bunch of things that buff Glissa, or allow us to fight their creatures, slash, this one gets us a basic land. We have a bunch of equipment to give it, it already has Death Touch, but like lifelink. This gives it trample and lifelink, so on and so forth. A bunch of spells to protect it. Protect Glissa with like hexproof and indestructible and things like that. And so that's basically half the deck. And then the other half is support cards, removal, 1 ring for drawing cards, Toski for drawing cards, questing beast to stop the opponent from trying to prevent us from doing damage, Casualties of War just to blow up all their stuff, a natural growth, double our power each combat, invoke despair, try to remove more of their stuff. So we're just trying to hit in with Glissa and do as much damage as possible. The other clauses here that I didn't go over is when Glissa does combat damage, you get one of these abilities. So depending on the board state, you might want to draw a card and lose life. You might want to destroy a target enchantment. That comes up a lot. Or you might want to remove 3 counters from target permanent. Maybe they're a Planeswalker deck and you want to stop them from ultimating, something like that. So, let's see if we can make Golgari Voltron work in Historic Brawl. If you like this kind of content, please think about subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Historic Brawl. Almost clicked the wrong deck there. I put out a video every day, so if you're interested in Historic Brawl strategies or anything else Magic the Gathering, go ahead and subscribe. We'll see who we're up against first. I have no idea what kind of queue this commander will be in the sense that I don't think we're going to be in Hell queue, where all the strongest commanders are. But we'll probably... I actually have no idea. Maybe mid-tier? Like a mid-tier queue? I was reading an article about like how Arena assigns you to a certain, strength queue. And I think it's somewhat based on your commander, but somewhat based on how many rares and mythics you have in your deck. Okay, so Rusko is a hard one, but a good one for our strategy. And we get to go first. We have a protection spell, 2 sort of removal over the top effects, another protection spell, and all our colors. So we'll go for it. We'll say hello. Even though they're playing evil Dimir. Evil alchemy cards. Eaten alive. Okay, it's a good removal spell. So, I don't think we want to just play Glissa, even though we can, because we're up against Dimir, so they're probably going to have lots of creature removal. And we won't have any mana to protect Glissa. However, they're also going to have counter magic, so I don't know what's worse here. And we can't blow up their midnight clock because it's an artifact, not an enchantment. Do we risk it? I mean, they saw what our commander was, so they kept a hand that was good against it in their mind, right? But maybe they don't know we're Voltron. Let's try it. They might want to just play Rusko next turn. We might get punished here, though. They're reading it. Yeah. Well, they spent their whole turn to do it, though, so... That's okay. The problem is now is that we have no land. I guess we'll just try to blow up their temple. See how many basics they have in the deck. We'll grab another black to hopefully get to invoke Despair mana. They found a basic. If we don't find more land, we're just gonna scoop out of this game because we'll be so far behind. Okay, Rusko, makes sense. Uh-huh. Make a midnight clock. Okay, we found a land, that's good. Well, we can't do anything, so we'll pass. They have 6 mana. They're gonna ramp. They're holding up 2 mana though. Another land would be very cool. There's plenty of land in the deck. I always run like high 30s, low 40s. So should be able to find some. Alright, not a dead draw, so I guess we'll keep going here. You gonna counter it? That's fine if you counter it. Okay, nope. They could have countered it. Okay. We don't pay life. Well, I guess to draw cards we would with Glissa. We don't have a ton of these. Let's remove this. I don't want them making more midnight clocks. It's too bad we have all the protection and stuff that doesn't have alternate uses. Some of them have like go fetch a land or destroy an artifact, but none of these do. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip through the turn because I have nothing to do. They have another removal spell, so we can't just play Glissa. Okay. We're trying, but I feel like this game is already pretty far away from us. I mean, we risked it, right? We had the option, do we play Glissa or do we wait? And, I don't know. I guess it was the wrong option. Okay. Again, I'm just going to skip through your turn because I have nothing to do. Okay, we got a land. If we play this, they're just going to sack the Solemn, so they're just going to get to draw a card. That's the only creature that would be in the graveyard that we could get back to. Well, I mean, it's better than Glissa. They can counter it if they want. That's... Why would you counter that? I would not counter that if I was the opponent. I would have sacked my Solemn to draw a card. Seems like a strange decision, but maybe it's because they knew they were going to flip Midnight Clock and they didn't want to lose their creature. And they're going to attack anyway and hope I block. Now they got a fresh 8 or so. No max hand size. Seems good. How about no? No card for you. Alright, no land. We're gonna get out of here. I mean, Rusko was already gonna be a really hard matchup if we didn't get under Rusko. When I saw the matchup at the beginning of the match, and I said, "Oh, Rusko, that's good for us." What I meant was, like, if we get Glissa down and can protect Glissa, then it's a good matchup because they're going to be playing Dimir control. So we have all the answers to Dimir control, right? But the key was getting Glissa down. So the fact that we couldn't keep Glissa on the battlefield, and then they just had a bunch of removal and counter spells. Yeah, I mean, there was nothing we could do, and then we weren't drawing land. So in hindsight, probably not the best move, and maybe we're playing another Dimir deck, so maybe we consider that this time. We only have 2 lands here. Well, 2 lands again. We get to go first, but I need more lands than this. Mulligan? There we go. Keep 5. Put you back. Well, no, we'll do it like that. Into the north, yeah. And do it like that. That way we have ramp on turn 2, ramp and card draw on turn 3. Tasha doesn't want us to attack. That's essentially the whole deck, and then they steal creatures out of our deck. I don't think... Well, we only have like 2 creatures in our deck besides Glissa, so we really don't want them to ultimate. Kind of a bad matchup here. Yeah, and then we'll do this. I think we'll go for a green, just because we have another black source in hand. What is this? Alchemy card. I don't even want to read it. Freaking alchemy cards, man. Okay, opponent gets to see my top card. And they know it's Blizzard Brawl. I think we black market here because we're so low on cards. And we're already double the mana that they have, so let's keep the advantage going. Staff of Completion. So, I think we're gonna do all modes here, because we have full life. So we'll take 6. Evoke Despair is a good draw, because it's Planeswalker removal eventually. Get the tap land down. So we can play Glissa, but we don't have protection for Glissa. Not great. We could play this and then next turn Glissa. They might not... I mean, it's a face-up play, but they might not see it coming. Maybe the setup is better. Because they're going to want to tap out to play Tasha. We have enough mana to play Glissa. We don't have a spell to protect it, so does it matter? Does it matter? Well, we have 2 black sources. I wish I knew I was going to draw this because I would have gotten a black source, but we'll have another treasure next turn. So we'll have the 4 for this. So I don't think we play it. I want them to feel safe casting Tasha so that we can invoke Despair. You can kill my creature and then cast Tasha. Okay, or just straight up cast it.
May the best maids win. Give it your best shot, adventurer.
Okay. Treasure and card. Lose 3. Oh, nice. We'll do another black source too. Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, so we have a protection spell, so let's not run Glissa out. Let's just play the equipment. And this still is in effect, right? So this would become a 2-1. I think we just pass without attacking because we want to keep it up to be able to attack Tasha when it comes down again. And if it becomes a 2-1, then the next time it attacks, it would be a 1-0 and just die before it did any damage. And I would like them to use the removal on this and not on Glissa. So this is just a giant piece of bait right now. Gonna foretell something. 2 blue. I'm gonna bounce my token. Narset. Okay. Can't draw extra cards, so don't select the card draw mode next turn. Otherwise we take 2 life and don't get the extra card. Now I could use this on this, right? That would be pretty funny because we could just kill Narset. I think it's a good opportunity to use that card. They're tapped out. I mean, if they have a Spell Pierce, they have a Spell Pierce, but that's another card out of their hand. Would you like to minus Narset? I know. I know how this works. I'm letting my opponent know that I know.
I have just the trick for this.
Do I get to see this card? Yes. It is a Wash Away. Well, they have 1 mana, so they can wash away our commander. Don't choose this option. We'll just create the treasure. That was a good pickup for them. I almost feel like that we need to get this out of the way though. So we're gonna definitely attack. So let's just attack. And if they want to spend any instant speed mana to get rid of my token, they can. Okay. Narset's gone. Man, I could just start making this token really big if I want to. I should have thought about that before I attacked. Because this gives it flying and haste, and this gives it vigilance and trample. Okay. This is not relevant. So we have 6, 7 mana. So we could play Glissa and get the spell out of their hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have enough to replay it this turn. But we definitely have enough to replay it next turn with a with backup. So let's just get this out of the way because they're gonna counter it. That's the only reason why Wash Away is in their deck. Yeah, go ahead, cast it. I know. That's fine. Resolve. There's nothing in my deck that can counter that. So I might as well just get it out of their hand. And then we will... Why don't we just use our mana this turn to equip this here. And equip this here. So that if they have more removal, they'll feel inclined to use it on this and not on Glissa. Mm-hmm. That's another turn that Tasha doesn't come down to. Brainstorm. They don't have a way to shuffle away the cards they don't want, so they're just putting 2 cards on top of their deck that are irrelevant, I'm assuming. Yeah, this doesn't let them shuffle either. Maybe they drew a shuffle land, a fetch land? Nope, just an island. They're gonna pass. We can draw a card now. We gotta be careful about life total. But some of our equipment gives lifelink. Okay, so we can... Well, we could use this on... Ooh, this might be good to keep for Tasha. I wanted to get rid of their staff, but I think we have to keep this for Tasha. So let's play Glissa again. Do they have another counter? This will give it haste. And this will give it trample. We'll still have 1 mana left for Malakir if they go for this. They're reading the card. They're going to take the 3. This is good against Tasha, too. I didn't even think about that, because we can remove counters from it. I guess we'll draw a card and lose a life. But we gotta be careful about our life total. Okay, we drew a land, so that's good. We'll pass. I hope they play Tasha. River's Rebuke. River's Rebuke. River's Rebuke. Well, this is a great draw. This also only comes down on 3. Do I want to get rid of their staff in response? That would be my only play here. I think this is okay, because we were taking a lot of life from Black Market. Just put it in our hand, and that's their whole turn. They're down to 2 cards, probably the 2 cards that they put away with Brainstorm. So they might have to start paying life with Staff. We'll play Glissa again. Do you have a counter spell? I feel like if they had a counterspell, they'd just rip it here. Okay. Which is the one that gives it haste? Flying and haste. Yeah. Do it like that. Lose a life, draw a card. Dig up. Dig up. I think we save this, but then we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. We're gonna go down a card here. We have to discard. I think Meathook Massacre is probably the one. It's really irrelevant in this matchup. Even though it's a great card. Look at this beautiful mana curve hand. It's just all 1-drops. Blood on the Snow.
Focused and disciplined, encounter no
So they bring back
obstacles.
Narset.
Hone your prowess.
Okay, but they don't have the mana. Wait, they do have the mana? Sure. How did they have the mana? Was I missing something? I don't know. Okay, but we can still play this and kill Narset. We don't want them having cards.
We still have much to
We
learn.
want them to pay life. Okay, they're digging. We are naked right now, like we have no way to, we have no cards that protect it. So this is probably gonna go get, that's good for us too. They lost 2 life on that. This is probably gonna go, okay, nice. Yeah, it's a tough one. This was gonna get, what was I gonna say? Lightning Greaves. So that we would have hexproof and haste moving forward. GG. I thought they would have cast Tasha more because it's basically creature hate, but guess not. So we lost to one Dimir deck, defeated the other Dimir deck. Hopefully don't get a third Dimir deck. I feel like that's been happening to me a lot. Where I just like play the same deck over and over again in the queue. And maybe not the same commander, but the same like colors. Or the same style. it's almost Dimir. But I don't actually know what this guy does. Whenever Jorn attacks, untap each snow permanent you control. Oh, cool. I wanted to build a deck with this guy. So maybe it's Sultai control, but with like an attacking matters. So maybe they make this guy unblockable and then hold up all their lands. Or you can play the Dimir side, which is you may play target snow permanent card from your graveyard this turn. If you do, it enters the battlefield tapped. Probably not. Probably this side. Okay, well. Doesn't change what we're gonna do. This can get us a land and fight their commander. This is protection. This gets rid of anything. This is a good hand. We get to go first. Put down this tap land. Dark Ritual is a good card. But I think we want to save Dark Ritual for later. Right? Right? I think so. Opponent's annoyed that I'm thinking. As most opponents are. Man, I think the right play is just to ramp here. I really wanted Dark Ritual into Glissa, but then they're Sultai colors. If they were like Boros or something, I'd feel better about it, but green. We have a lot of green spells in hand, and we have Dark Ritual. Pass through their turn. Resolve. Yep. Keep them off their mana. Sometimes people keep hands. Okay. Sorry, I didn't expect them to scoop there. But I was gonna say, sometimes people keep hands that have like a 2-lander and a mana rock, and they're like, oh, I have 3 mana and I'll draw into more. But you know, since we only had 3 lands, I didn't want to play Glissa into whatever removal they might have, because this might be a creature deck, but it might be a Sultai control deck. And so I was like, well, if it's Sultai control and we remove their mana rock and they don't have blue mana, then maybe they don't have any other lands in their hand, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So I took a risk, it paid off. It's just hard to explain, it's kind of just a gut feeling. Okay, let's try one more. Joda. Okay, well this will be a test, because this is a Creatures Matters, Legendary Creatures Matters deck. Basically, and then they get Cascade and a bunch of other stuff. But we have the ultimate blocker. So yeah, that's good. Eldest Reborn is not going to be good right away, but we have ramp and card draw. I think we keep. They're not going to... They don't usually run removal. They like to overrun you. Let's go to... Which we do. But we don't control a swamp, so let's get the tap land out of the way. Okay, basically a mana dork. We could ramp or we could de-ramp them. I think de-ramping them is good, because they need 5 colors. Okay, that's 2 games in a row where that was the correct play. You know, the old expression, bolt the bird, still holds true. Okay, we'll do one more. Okay. So I just want to say, every deck we've played has had blue or black in the colors. Even Joda, because it was 5 color in the Sultai deck. But we're playing another blue and black deck. I don't know what that's about. Alela has Death Touch and Lifelink, but we have Death Touch and First Strike. This is a great card. And we have a ramp piece. I think we keep this. Thankfully, we've been able to go first all these different turns. This is going to have to be on green. That's also a good card against Alela. It's Alela, right? Yeah, I own this card in I have a commander deck for her. Let's just ramp. They're going to take a couple turns figuring out their colors and then play Alela, and then their whole deck's going to... It could be like an Artifacts Matter. It could be a Fairy Tribal. You never really know. see if they want to get rid of this. Okay, it might be Fairy Tribal. Maybe it's like a flash fairy deck? Because she buffs fairies. Yeah, another fairy. Okay, alright, they're gonna drain me out with their fairies. I gotta say, if you're gonna actually build this deck though, the second clause matters way more than the first one. Like, you make a fairy every time you cast an artifact or enchantment. Like, it should be an artifact or an enchantment, or a mixture of both deck. Not a fairy tribal deck. The fact that the fairies get buffed is pretty meaningless. Yep, my turn. We don't own a forest. We don't control a forest, I should say. So that's a bummer. We could Chemist Transformation this thing. This is card draw, though. What do we care more about? Is this lifelink? What is this? No, just hexproof. I mean, they might have removal, but if they're fairy tribal, they probably don't, right? This might be a mistake, but just based on the cards they've played, this seems like an okay play. I feel like because they're going to want to play a land and then play their commander, right? In the following turn, we could Blizzard Brawl. Okay, I guess not. We don't have anything that gets rid of enchantments in our hand, so we have to take action. Luckily we have Castle Garenbrig, so we do... if we draw another land, or Dark Ritual, we have another way to get Glissa out. Okay, and then we'll save the Kenris for their commander. Unfortunately, they're in white, so like Professor's Warning isn't gonna help us here. It would have helped us in that situation, though. All right, well, this may be just GG. We'll find out. We can play this and I guess draw, because we're not going to do anything else with it. That's a good card. Okay. No, we do want to attack because we're definitely not going to block. Okay. That would be a good target for Glissa. Alright, what do we do here? Okay. They're gonna start losing life to Bitter Blossom. but they're gonna keep drawing cards and draining us, so I don't know if we have a way out of this. We could have Kenris this thing last turn, but yeah, because that buffs them and I think we die, right? Yep, okay. GG. I will say though that like even though we lost this deck, this is a horrible way to build this commander. Like, don't build Fairy Tribal with Alela. Build an artifact and enchantment deck. It's way better. Let's play one more. I don't feel like we really got to showcase how the deck is supposed to work. Hopefully we don't play another Dimir deck or a deck with black in it. Oh my gosh. At least I think this is like what's it called? Ninjutsu. So it's Dimir, but it's creature based Dimir. Okay. They get to go first. We don't have black mana, so we mull. This is better. And this might be important in this matchup, so we keep. Okay, the tap land, it's also a swamp and forest, so it turns these two on, makes them come in untapped. It's good. It's a good land. I think we'll keep this for the fighting ability then. And we'll pass. They have double blue. Swiftfoot Boots. Okay. What does this do again? Yeah, I think we play Glissa next turn. I'm just tired of putting Glissa down and having them have removal. Now they have only blue, or they must not have black mana. Yeah. Well, that has to go. And we'll pass. They found the black mana. See, they're holding it up. Like, why wouldn't they play it? Let's try to see if there's any stick when we go from our first main to our second main. That felt really smooth to me. We can play Nightmare Shepherd as bait. It is a flying 4/4 with a really cool ability. Chart a course. They got rid of Vraska's Contempt. Weird. would you like to block? No. I don't really know what they're up to. So we can give it hexproof. We can give it +4/+4, or we could have it fight target creature. This is only a sorcery though. We'll pass. See what they do. If they try to get rid of it... Oh, I see. They're going to ninjutsu here. Gains reach. Gains reach. Gains reach. So we could play this and block whatever they're going to put down. I'm very scared about what they're going to put down. Because everything has ninjutsu, right? But they have to have this down to have everything have ninjutsu. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just allow them to do it. So it has to be a ninjutsu creature. Which... Okay, so this is the one that makes me discard 2 cards, right? Okay. Pass. Discard 2 cards. So, let's get rid of you. No, resolve. And you. I don't think they'll be useful in this matchup. My turn. Uh-huh. That's a good card. If they don't have creatures, then they can't. Did this also have Death Touch? What did I miss there? I missed something. What did I miss? This has First Strike. Does this also have First Strike? I'm so confused. Okay, well. What did I miss? What does this say? Yeah? Fights? They fought? Am I, do I not understand how the fight mechanic works? I guess maybe fighting doesn't include the first strike part? I don't know. Maybe I missed on that. It's a good card. Equip 3. Let's just make their board smaller. Draw 2 cards. This is hexproof and flying, but it doesn't have vigilance. Now I'm afraid about what they're going to ninjutsu in. Okay. We could Tear Asunder that. We could go get Tear Asunder and get rid of that. Because that's going to give them double ninjutsu. We could go get Casualties of War. Black Market. I'm just trying to think if there's anything better here to get. We could get Kendra's transformation. That essentially turns off their commander, right? Yeah, I think that's actually a really good get. They're tapped out as well. So now their commander has no ability, except for Ninjutsu, which it can't use because it's already on the battlefield. Yep. Now if they have another Ninjutsu creature, they can get around this, but I'm assuming they just have Eldrazi and stuff. Okay, no they do. My bad. I just... People build these decks so weird. I would, it's not how I would build it, but I guess I got wrecked there. Okay, let's get you off the battlefield. Let's... Glissa. Would you like to attack into the first striking Death Toucher? Applying Death Touch Hexproof, pretty good. No attacks. Okay. Vigilance and Trample. Oh, Trample. Trample, 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 trample. So that means that if they double blocked, I'd still get a trigger off this, right? They can try to remove it here or bounce it, I guess, but I have a counter for that. What are you guys doing? I say guys, like there's multiple people playing that I'm playing against. Opponent, what are you doing? You have to block with at least the 2/4. Now you have to block with both. Otherwise this enchantment's going bye-bye. I will give the opponent credit. They put a lot of interaction in their deck, and I would have never expected that. Let's just get the creature down. If they don't remove Glissa, we will put the Swiftfoot Boots on Glissa and trample in. Okay, they're gonna get rid of Glissa. Take action. Yep. They can't attack with their Night Veil Predator because we'll just kill them. Let's start drawing some cards. Cool. Give this trample. They have to block. They don't have a choice. Not you. Let's see if they have interaction. They have a counter spell. I'd be shocked if they had a counter spell, but I mean, I guess they. Oh, the opponent says good game. I mean, I don't win here, but it's not looking good. All right, GG. Woo. Let's review the deck. I think there's some stuff we learned. So, the number one thing I would do if you're interested in this kind of deck and you liked the way it ran, we need to look up how fight works. Because I thought that in a fight spell, let's look up like a generic one, like this one. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control, right? And then it says up there, fight. When two creatures fight, each deals non-combat damage equal to its power to the other. I think that's the key clause. I thought that if two creatures fought, their abilities like First Strike and Death Touch applied. But it sounds like it does not. It's just based off power and toughness. So in that one game where I had Glissa fight, I think it was actually the last game, when I had Glissa fight their creature and Glissa died, I was super confused because I was like, well, how did it die? We have First Strike and Death Touch. I guess that is ruled out. It's just based off power and toughness. So maybe if you download this deck list, maybe take out some of these generic fight spells and leave in the good ones like Blizzard Brawl. If you control 3 or more snow permanents, the creature gets indestructible, right? So it gets around that issue. And there's some other ones too. But there are some that like it's like it doesn't say fight, it says like creature deals damage to another creature, so there's that too that gets around it. So yeah, maybe remove some of these fight spells and include maybe some other pieces that you think would make the deck better. I definitely think Voltron's a hard strategy in Historic Brawl because, as you saw, people just want to remove your commander. I mean, even if we didn't have a Voltron strategy, people just want to remove your commander. They know your deck's built around your commander, they want to remove it. So, you know, even though we have like 10 indestructible and hexproof spells in this deck, it still didn't feel like it was enough. And then you have to be super cautious, you know, when you have those spells about when you play them. So even though Glissa is only 3 mana, you can hardly ever play Glissa on turn 3. You kind of have to wait until you have Glissa and a protection spell. So, you know, I think we did pretty good considering we didn't know that pretty big thing about fight spells. But yeah, if you like the video and you want to see more of this stuff, please subscribe. I'm coming out with a video every day on Historic Brawl stuff. I'm going to start mixing in some other formats like Commander and maybe you know, Historic and Explorer, maybe Standard. I don't know if I have the patience for Standard or the wallet really, but yeah, if you like the content, you want to see it every week, every day, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.